Mike Moore Media, the first place to hear Rockingham County news and information.
On our media line, Rockingham County Tax Collector Mark McClintock. We have a lot to talk about. Hey, Mark, how are you?
Doing fine, sir. Hope you are too.
I'm doing well. We haven't talked in a long time. Tell us how COVID has affected the tax department here in the county.
Well, COVID-19 has been a challenge to our staff. It's been a challenge to our customers. We're following all the county protocols to keep our staff and customers healthy. As most people know, masks are required here at the Government Center, and when customers come to visit us, there's a small gatehouse where they check in, give their cell phone number if they have it, or a description of their vehicle and name, and they wait in their cars in our parking lot. Then we will either come get them or call them to come in to keep everyone inside the governmental center at our tax collection and listing windows socially distanced.
Well, it is a challenging time, that's for sure. But taxes continue on, and we're getting close to the end of the year when we need to look at things like that. So I know we have a checklist, some things we need to go over. What are we starting with, Mark?
Well, I'd like to start with the last week of December and first week of January. These two dates are historically very busy for us. Hundreds of taxpayers will wait until the last week of December, the week after Christmas, and the first week of January to pay their taxes. On January 6th, the standard tax bill goes delinquent and interest starts to accrue. So while people like to wait to that last minute to come in, our concerns this year are the changes in protocols with COVID here in the governmental center and in the amount of space I have to keep the employees distanced and the taxpayers and customers coming in distanced. So while people usually came in, just stood in line and waited, we would have 4 or 5 people ready to take their money or assist them or help them list. It's a little different this year with them having to wait since we only have a limited space for everyone to safely wait. So we're making some changes this year that we hope will speed that up, and we're strongly encouraging everyone to pay by check, our outside drop box, maybe to pay by money order or online they can pay. And even if they look at their tax bill, there's a number where they can call and pay by phone. This could minimize the amount of traffic that we have those last 2 weeks, and it would be to the benefit of the customers and taxpayers, and they would not have long wait times.
Well, you've given us a lot of options to pay our taxes, that's for sure. So it sounds like it's a lot more convenient than ever.
It is, sir, and year by year, I've been here 23 years. Each year, since probably about 6 or 7 years ago, we started to see a little bit of a decrease in the amount of taxpayers that come and do pay in person, especially since tag and tax came out for the motor vehicles. And even the last couple years, while we have seen that decrease, we still have quite a rush there at the end of the year, and sometimes we even get hundreds of phone calls that time, and it makes it hard even though we're used to handling that traffic. COVID-19 is throwing a wrench in it this year, but we came up with an idea to give taxpayers 8 more hours to pay. On December the 21st through the 23rd, the week before Christmas, on December the 29th through 31st, after Christmas, Tuesday through Thursday, that we're going to be working, and January 4th and 5th, we're going to stay open till 6 p.m. to wait on taxpayers. Now, what we'll do is we'll have somebody stationed so the taxpayers won't have to check in outside at the gatehouse. If they come up in the circle, we will let them in the building to assist them, or we will go out, get their payment, and bring them back a receipt. And even during the day, I'm going to have staff available that if a taxpayer checks in during the day, during the regular hours, and remains in their car, we will have runners who can come out, get the check or payment coupon and bring them a receipt, and maybe they won't have to wait as long, or they won't even have to come into the building.
Wow, you have you've really gone beyond the call of duty here. It sounds like you and your staff to accommodate everyone. So that's December 21 through 23, 29 through 31, January 4 and 5, open to 6 p.m. to accommodate everyone. That's wonderful.
We're trying very hard. We give everyone, we mail the bills in July. The bills do not go delinquent until January the 6th. So we're trying very hard to accommodate everyone. We just strongly encourage, if you can pay early this year, please do. If you can pay remotely, online, or mail your payment, as long as the postmark is before January the 6th, you won't be charged interest even if we receive it later.
Mm-hmm.
But we want to keep people socially distanced to protect them, and we want them to feel safe if they do come and pay, but give alternatives in case they want to mail it in or pay online or call.
Yeah. Well, it's inevitable. We have to pay our taxes, and it's always it's a good idea to just do it as soon as you can when you get the tax bill, and then it's out of the way because, you never know. Things come up that change your life and everything else, like COVID. I think probably, I always thought maybe people who wait to the last minute to pay their taxes may be the same people who wait to the day before their driver's license expires. So, it's just human nature, I guess, to put things off as long as you can, maybe.
We understand, and we're trying to be very accommodating for this. We want to keep everyone safe. And also with COVID-19 and protocols, we are always concerned that we may be lower staffed than usual.
Mm-hmm, sure.
We don't know what that future holds, and while we hope everything gets better quickly, there could still be issues with our staffing. And we want to make sure we can service the taxpayers timely. We want to make sure we can return all the phone calls. We'll get a lot of messages that time of year. We won't be able to answer them all immediately, but we always call people back. So my concerns are making sure we have plenty of time to service the taxpayer and our customer, and also to keep them safe and make sure that I'm fully staffed.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about your staff. How many people do you have on a regular basis, and will you be adding more people here at the end of the year? Is that something you do?
It's a great question. There's 23 of us, including myself. We don't use temporary help because many of the things we do is complex, but it also, we have access to people's private information. So we can't really bring in temporary people because to be vetted and work for the county, there's background checks, and we have to be very careful with your confidential information. We protect your information like we want ours to be protected. So for just 2 weeks out of the year, it's next to impossible to train and staff up temporary help. We also don't have but a limited amount of room in our office, so it would be hard to socially distance any more people.
I think it's interesting, if I'm remembering correctly here from what you said a few minutes ago, 23 on your staff, the same number of years you've been with Rockingham County. How about that?
Yes, sir. And when I first came, there were even more. I think at one time we had as many as 26 to 28 people way back.
Yeah.
But automation and technology has assisted us in working with less people.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and that's helped all of us for sure with the technology. And how has that changed a little bit, Mark? Just maybe some highlights looking back over those 23 years at some of the changes.
Oh, my goodness. We used to mail all 90,000 registered motor vehicles here in the office. We printed them here in the office. We took them to the post office here in the office.
Wow.
We, at one time, did the listing forms here in the office. We even did notices, such as reevaluation notices, manually at that time. Now we use automated processes where the listing forms, which I'm glad you brought that up, listing is in January 1 through February 1 this year. Those forms used to come in here where we would manually separate them, manually with pencils price them. This was in 97 when I first came. Mm-hmm. Now you can list online if you're a business or an individual. Our listing forms go back to our printer where they're electronically scanned, sent to us in a scanned form from a secure location, and we're not having to manually handle the paperwork that we used to. So the changes I've seen are just huge. We now have our website where you can pay, a toll-free phone number where you can pay, the ability to list your taxes online, which is something for personal people we only started last year, for businesses a couple years ago. We have GIS technology now, where when I came, we were hand inking the maps. Now we have just awesome GIS technology to assist us, and many other automated functions that we use with our computer-assisted mass appraisal software.
Well, Rockingham County always on the cutting edge of things, and it's good to know that our tax department has certainly been right there on the forefront as well. Before we run out of time, give us that website, that toll-free number, things you just mentioned there, Mark, please.
Our website is similar to the county's main website. It's myrockingham.county.nc.tax.com. That takes you straight to our website. Our phone number, main line, is 336-342-8305. My direct line is 336-342-8382.
Okay. All righty, 8382. I'll make sure I get
Yes,
all
sir.
of this down here, too. Okay. So that's good to know, that website, myrockingham.county.nc.tax.com, a direct link right there to you folks.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, we have just another maybe a minute and a half left, Mark, to sum up, if you'd like. I know we have another segment we'll be doing again soon, but to finish this one, any last-minute things?
Yes, sir. Once again, I encourage everyone, pay early if you can, mail, online, by telephone, or our drop box in front of the governmental center. Also, January is the time to apply for exclusions and exemptions. If you're over 65 and have a limited income, if you're a disabled veteran, or if you're permanently and totally disabled, we have information on our website, or you can call us for information for exemptions and exclusions that you would apply for in January.
Wonderful. Well, some great advice and information for us today, and the times and all of that, and I'll go over those again. Mark, thanks to you and your team for the good job you do, and let me just say happy Thanksgiving to everyone there in your department, and then we'll talk again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
We hope everyone has a safe and happy holidays.
Okay. Thank you for making it happen there in the tax department for us. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mark McClintock, Rockingham County tax collector, with us today on this podcast. Again, that contact information, myrockingham.county.nc.tax.com. The regular county website is myrockingham.county.nc.com. And the phone number is 336-342-8305. And Mark's direct number, how about that? You can call the tax collector directly at 336-342-8382. And I'm Mike Moore. Thank you for tuning in.